up, guys? It's your girl Nicole Young, and I am back with another video. So you've probably noticed that there's a lot changed with my setup, with my hair, and we're gonna get into all of that in another video. But in this video, I want to talk about boot camps. So I know that I'm always preaching about learning to code for free, teaching yourself, and all of those things about how accessible learning can be when you're teaching yourself how to code. However, I understand that being self-taught is not for everybody. I know, like, for me, creating a structured plan and being very meticulous about following a schedule when I was learning was really helpful, but it's also very much so in my nature to do so. I am very type A, and so I like creating plans. I like being on a structured schedule and routines. I thrive on that kind of thing, but that's not for everyone. So in this video, I'm gonna just talk a little bit about it. We're just gonna open up the conversation. I wanna hear about your own experiences, because I have not actually fully gone through with a boot camp, although I'll get into my experiences with boot camps. And I'm also going to give you a few things that you should do before you sign on the dotted line for any one particular boot camp. All right? Leave a comment down below if you have already taken a coding boot camp or if you have already signed up for one. What was your process like? Did you like it? What was your experience? I'm sure that information will be super valuable to the people who are still making that decision and watching this video right now. Okay, so actually I'm gonna get my chai tea for this one, because I have had a lot of mixed feelings and emotions about boot camps since I started on this journey, and I've learned a lot in the year or so that I've been doing this and learning and doing research on what is out there, and also doing research for how, for videos and things that I can do to help you all. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I am standing right on the fence with boot camps, and there is a reason for that. So the first thing is, I think in theory that a boot camp is a wonderful, amazing thing to have, to be able to pick up on a new tech skill like coding, like development or whatever, in a short period of time, in an environment that forces you to, really overcome a lot of the challenges that you would need to gain the skills that you need as a developer or data scientist or whatever. And I think that if you're someone that works well under pressure, if you are someone that thrives in a community or communal environment, that a boot camp would probably be a really great place for you to learn, because it's going to kind of give you structure, accountability. It's going to kind of force you to hit certain deadlines at a certain period of time. And for a lot of people, that's a really good thing, right? However, something that I personally felt really apprehensive about when I was doing my own research and what I was going to learn is that there are some boot camps I think are out here being very predatory. There are some programs out there that are charging $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for you to take their program. And I don't know if it's the psychology behind thinking that if you're paying more that the quality of your education is better, or if it's literally that they think that the quality of their stuff is that much better, but I just don't understand why there are programs out there like that. And when you have languages and skill sets that you can actually learn for free on the internet, when you have that and you have people saying that you need to pay them 5 figures in order to have a quality education, there's something really problematic with that to me. Little story time. I was actually really excited to do a boot camp. I actually, when I first started, I was this close to signing on the dotted line and committing to joining a program. And so what happened was I was learning iOS, and I decided that a bootcamp would be the best option for me because it was a little difficult to find the resources that I needed. And I did, you know, the pre-course that you have to do to qualify to be admitted. I did all of that. And when I got accepted, I got a ton of paperwork where you had to read the agreement and sign the papers before you were officially able to accept. I realized that, you know, you were committed to pay a certain amount and they were taking like 17 to 20% of your income once you got into a job. And to me, that sounds really problematic because yes, the potential of me making a six-figure, you know, landing a six-figure job right out of a program like that one was probably pretty likely. But if I'm making $100,000 and you're taking 17% of that, that is $17,000. I don't even pay that much for rent in Pittsburgh. So to me, I just didn't understand. Like, that was just so much money to me. And essentially it would have doubled the amount of debt that I would have been in when including my student loans. So I just wasn't here for that. And if you are someone that's in a similar situation where you have debt already, you don't want to add to it, that is something you should look into. All right, so now let's get into just a few things that I think that you should do before you commit to any boot camp. The first thing that I think you should do is do your research on what is out there. There are different types of coding boot camps. There are ones that have a smaller, closer-knit community. They only admit a certain amount of students at a time. And you know, there are smaller ones, but there are also ones that are massive that admit like maybe a couple hundred students every round, and they do multiple rounds throughout the year. There are different types, so I would definitely do your research on the type of program you want to get into and just really think about what works best for you and consider all of the factors of life that this will affect. Because if you're in a boot camp, a lot of times the majority of your time is spent doing your homework in the boot camp, finishing projects. You're really immersed, you're fully immersed, and it's intense. And if you have a lot of other commitments in your life, this will affect that. So you have to consider everything. The next thing I would say to do is to test out the teaching style. A lot of coding boot camps have free, you know, webinars or programs or even pre-coursework that you have to complete in order to qualify, or that you can take in order to kind of test out the waters before you fully commit. And I think you should 100% take advantage of those things that they offer that are free, because it'll give you a taste of what is to come when you're actually in an intensive program. If you can't follow along or you don't like the teaching style of a free program, the chances that you're going to like it when it's more intense and more fast-paced in the actual program aren't likely. So definitely look into that. The next thing is, when you are doing your research on the different programs that you're interested in, make sure you look them up on sites like Course Report to get real reviews from real students that have already taken the program or taken the course. I used Course Report a lot when doing research on online courses that I've bought and taken, and even when I was doing research on boot camps that I was interested in taking. Check those reviews, because the students be spilling the tea on Course Report about their experiences, what they really thought was good and what was not so good, and it'll give you a really good view into what your experience will probably be like if you decide to become a student of one of these boot camps. So definitely check that. People are very honest on sites like that. I guess if you're taking the time to add your 2 cents about something, then you're gonna be honest about it. But yes, it'll save you a lot of time and headache and worry for sure. The next thing is what saved me from joining a bootcamp that was really not the best option for me at the time, and that is to read the fine print, okay? A lot of times I see a trend of bootcamps presenting themselves as this new wave of innovative teaching styles and like promising you the world with what their programs offer, like
come out with a 6-figure job and like be a part of the new wave, get into tech, you're gonna be so cool once you have this job. And like
the marketing for a lot of these bootcamps is phenomenal, it's great, but don't be blinded by all of that talk and language and the cute graphics and visuals that they present to you. Make sure that you take the time to parse through the actual policies, the actual fine print of what it entails. Because typically, if you are signing up to a program, they are promising you certain outcomes, but they are also holding you up to a certain standard and holding you up to certain terms on your end as well. And especially with payment, I would just definitely look into it and make sure that you have a full understanding of what you will have to do on your end. Because like I said, with the program that I was doing, I was going to be required to pay regardless of if I finished the program. I was going to be required to pay a super large chunk, almost like a fifth of my income once I did land a job, which also meant that I had to stay out of job for about 2 years, regardless of if I liked it or not, and I didn't like that either. And just in general, I was going to be in twice as much debt, basically, as I already was. So to me, like, knowing that really saved me. Understanding like how the payment method worked and everything like that really saved me a lot of headache. The last thing is one that I'm sure you guys have probably expect me to say, but that is to truly just make sure that you are using all of the resources that you can to learn for free first. I don't think it would hurt to use what time you have before you get started in a program to learn what you can for free. Because I think that the more you learn before you get started, the more you can build on what you know throughout your program and as you enter the workforce. So I think that it can only benefit you to try your hand at learning first and get your brain working in that problem-solving mode, that logical thinking mode and computational thinking. Like, I don't think it can hurt. So I definitely say try learning for free. I always get people asking me for advice for what to do when they're getting into it, and that is my biggest piece of advice, because the information is there. And I think it also just shows your commitment and dedication to getting into this new field and just spending a little bit of time every day learning something new. Regardless, I think it's super important to stay on top of the newest trends and just what is going on in general in the tech scene when you are wanting to get into a job and make a career shift. So I think that learning on your own can help you to do that, because a lot of times there's so much information in tech that a 3-month or 6-month or 9-month program isn't going to give you all of the information that you need to know. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to learn on your own, and that's regardless of what method that you take with learning. So getting in the habit of doing that now is only going to benefit you on your career and journey into becoming a techie. And before I let you all go, I have a little something for those of you who are women or femme identifying watching this video right now. If you are doing research on finding a bootcamp, I have actually partnered with a bootcamp that is made specifically for us, and that is CodeUp. So I got to personally speak to some of the ladies that have taken the program and are now working as facilitators with CodeUp, and I am just in love with their mission and vision for making tech a more diverse and inclusive space by making learning technical skills more accessible to women like us. So currently they offer programs in full stack development, data science, and product management. And you have access to one-on-one coaching. You get over 500 hours of practice during this program. And they currently have the option of being fully remote, which is a really economical option right now for those of us who are stuck at home inside, right? So I definitely think you should add CodeUp to your list of boot camps that you are researching. If you decide that you want to go for it, there is a link down in the description of this video where you can use it to get 10% off of your full tuition. So definitely take advantage of that if this is something that you're interested in, and check out their page. I will also link that down below because they have great free events that you can attend on Instagram or online that are really great and will help you to get an understanding of the teaching style and get to know some of the women in the community. They are amazing. I absolutely adore them, and that is the only reason why I would promote it to you guys. So that's it, and this has been another video with your girl. I love you guys. I am rooting for you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.